yeah.
We should get.
I didn't make any mistakes, by the way.
I would like a lint roller that you kind of like a car wash size one, where you just walk through it.
Oh,
like you know those
dude.
big rollers that do like that. That'd be fun. I'd
That
like
would
a little.
be incredible. I mean, I have major lint. I got 2 cats, so I'm.
Because I was going to say that you actually seem like a very lint-free.
Well, I
individual.
appreciate you noticing that because these pants, especially,
They-
they grab it.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
And so I'm like obsessive about the lint roller.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's some pants that just fucking they like give me the lint.
Dude, and I don't know, like, I tried Googling, like, what about certain pants attract lint,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's nothing. I don't
They
know.
can't tell
no
you.
No rhyme or reason.
It's that the pants know if you were free of sin or not. So that if you have done something wrong, then it's like, well, you're gonna get a
They
bunch
knew
of
I
cat
took
hair.
I took communion without confessing.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
Yeah. Like, this
Yeah.
fucker's getting free wafers.
Yeah, he's getting about 15 grams of carbs and
Yeah.
0 calories from this. It's all fiber.
Because for me, the pants that I have the most issue with is like these or the other ones. The ones you gave me, the black slacks.
Oh yeah, because there's no feel to them. They're
No feel.
slick.
They're
They're
just
slick.
Smooth pants.
So then they're just like
because corduroy, you're not getting any lint on there. They're falling off.
But
Yeah.
you wouldn't notice it even if you did. I feel
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
like more
'Cause of the
textury.
whales.
Yes, the whales.
Because of
Yeah,
the whales,
yeah.
the pants.
No H on those whales.
Yeah, that's Captain Ahab. That's what he was saying all the time too. He's like, oh, the whales.
I want a corduroy shirt. Oh wait, wife pleasers are kind of corduroy when you look at them.
Yeah, they're ribbed.
They're ribbed.
Yeah.
They're ribbed.
They're
for her
ribbed.
pleasure. That's why they're wife pleasers.
Okay, that makes
Oh,
sense.
there you go. Look at
Has
that.
anyone ever not said for her pleasure after the word ribbed after Wayne's World?
Now
Has
we're
that
not-
ever happened?
I don't think so.
Now
Not
we're
in
getting
my,
a
not in
massive
my lifetime.
nosebleed.
Yeah.
It's
Have we started?
Yeah, we're doing
we're
it.
on.
This
is just
yeah, dude.
Nice.
This is it.
this is all.
By the way, I
I'm
know you can't see. Your viewers can't see that, or maybe if you use your
I'm not
fucking
doing it.
control. Okay,
Yeah.
It's Mike Tyson KO'd. That was probably it's a newspaper headline of it. That's probably the greatest day of my dad's life.
Really?
We used to watch every Tyson fight.
Where'd you grow up again?
Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chicago guy.
So
Chicago.
and my dad absolutely detested Tyson.
I
A lot
wonder-
of racial
I was
overtones
gonna say,
there.
I wonder
You know,
why- did
yeah.
He also was a bad boxer.
Yeah. Was he happy? He's like, I don't like that he's such a thug.
Except in my family, they didn't bother with thug.
Yeah.
My dad, luckily, was not an N-word user, but you go to the family parties, you're gonna hear some of those.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we would get the pay-per-views of every Tyson fight in the futile hope that he would lose.
Yeah.
And the one time he fucking lost, that fight was on HBO. It was a regular because it was Buster Douglas was such a nobody. You know.
Was that one? Was that the one in
Japan?
Yeah.
Yes, in like February or something like that. But it was such a kind of nothing fight that it was just on HBO, and he got fucking knocked out.
Yeah.
Like
Huge deal.
That's how big. That's how big it was. This is a cover the Daily News. Also, speaking of racial undertones, the Daily News. But
Yeah.
it's Tyson getting KO'd is huge. Smaller up top, Nelson Mandela freed from prison.
hilarious.
And same size, Ivana Trump is upset that Donald cheated on her.
Yeah.
My uncle had this. He had a bunch of like Tyson KO'd stuff. He was like, because he was a huge boxing fan.
Yeah.
So he just, I think I gave you the magazine,
I
the
have it
Sports
up. Yeah, yeah.
Illustrated.
Yeah.
And then it was like that, and I'm like, this is the greatest
Dude.
like newspaper.
That's America.
It is America. It's like Nelson Mandela, sure, but Mike Tyson got knocked out.
Yeah.
and Donald Trump cheated on his wife. For
Yeah.
God's
Would
sake.
you
my
believe that
God.
guy is immoral?
I didn't know he was called the Donald back then.
Oh.
Because that's 1990, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Holy
Yeah.
Christ. Wow.
That's
Yeah.
wild that even back then he was the Donald.
Yeah, I
Because
didn't know
it's
that was...
him and Duck.
Him and Duck.
Those are the two Donalds.
And they both
and you're not like,
love-
oh, Donald Duck cheated on his wife. God.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say they both love swimming and money, but that's Scrooge.
That's Scrooge
It's a different
McDuck.
Duck.
Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
They're related though.
He's
Donald and Scrooge Mick.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, aren't the nephews?
Huey, Dewey, and Louie, I feel like are their uncle, because it's Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
Is Donald Duck related to them?
God damn it! Am I making that up? Am
Oh,
I
you know
being,
what? I'll figure
am
it
I
out.
being
I'll
a
figure it
Duckist
out.
and assuming they're all related?
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
you guys all know each other, right?
Wait, is DuckTales Disney?
That's a great
I
question.
think it is.
then that would be fucked up if they're not related.
They're just
You
separate
just have
duck
like
families.
the Irish, the McDucks, and the regular duck. Maybe the regular ducks change their name at Ellis Island, Donald.
I'll tell you this: we're not the only people who have Googled Scrooge McDuck Donald Duck relation.
Amazing. Let's go.
Okay,
They were
Scrooge.
past lovers.
Scrooge is the maternal uncle of Donald Duck.
Wow. So that's what that explains to not have the same last name.
And he's the great uncle of Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
That's so funny. So they account for the different last name, but the last name is still a form of duck.
It's
Yeah.
so
What's duck in Spanish?
Pato.
Pato? Pato. So it would be Donald. Is there a Donald in Spanish? Donaldo?
There isn't a translated
Not if
version
I have
like
anything to do with it.
By the way, I've always wondered this. Is your name, is it James? Is Diego James?
So yeah, James is Diego.
And so is Santiago, right?
I don't know. I didn't know
'Cause
that.
I feel I was reading because I was asking my friend Santiago this a long time ago, and I think the name Santiago may arise like San Diego, like San Diego got shortened to Santiago and is also James.
Yeah, that's why my nickname is Little Diego Island.
Little St. Diego.
Little St. Diego Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Diego is technically James, and Carlos, my brother's name is Carlos.
Charles,
Here we go. It's Charles, or Charlie.
What's Jaime is Jamie?
Jaime is Jamie.
Yeah, I think Jaime is just its own because Jamie's James, isn't it? Jamie is from James.
I think there's.
That's how I would say. I would
Yeah.
assume.
I always thought
like a
Jamie
nickname.
was a nickname for James. Yeah. But Diego's such an interesting one. It's the only one that doesn't it doesn't directly, there's no overlap between Diego and James.
No.
It's like how Dick is a nickname for Richard.
Yeah.
Where you're
Yeah,
like,
it's
or
like,
like
what?
Jack is a nickname for John.
Yeah.
You're like, that's the same
Yeah.
amount of letters. Don't fuck with me.
You know,
You guys are making shit up now.
Yeah.
I feel like every Robert, every other Robert is John. So I'm Robert John.
Yeah.
And I remember growing up.
It's a very Irish one, too.
Wait,
Yes.
You know?
explain. What do you mean by that? Every
Like,
Robert is John? Like your
sorry,
middle name? Okay,
Every
okay.
Yeah, first
every
and middle.
person named Robert, I feel like their middle name is John. And so I was, my initials were RJ, and I always went by Bobby. And I remember, I was like 10 years old, and I asked my mom, I think I want to go by BJ now. And she's like, no.
You don't.
And I was like, and I was so dumbfounded by how intense she was in response. And I was like, why? And she's like, I'll tell you when you're older. And I remember just being like, what could this possibly mean? Why do I have to wait till I'm older to learn why I can't go in BJ?
It
was
sounds
so
cool. Dad's always asking for it.
My mom wanted to name me Neil after Neil Young. She loved Neil
Oh,
Young.
really?
Yeah. And my dad said, no, that's a gay name. And my mom was like, how is Neil a gay name? And he goes, you know how you kneel in front of a guy and suck his dick?
Unbelievable.
That
Unbelievable.
is
God.
so funny.
And I was just
never
like,
would have put that together.
Me neither. But I was like, yeah, I guess you do that. Sure.
Boy, then your dad has showcased some deeply closeted
Yeah.
He went
thoughts
to
there.
the Navy, so I think he was like, "What is every way my son could get bullied?" And let me mitigate
Well,
that.
I was gonna say because Neil's not a good name.
No, I think my life would be
great, but
Yeah.
Neil, you would have had trouble.
I think I would have had a much different life if my name was Neil.
Yes, you have the great name
Because
Michael is the great name.
Yeah.
Michael,
Mikey.
Mickey,
Mikey, yeah.
You got a
Yeah.
great. Both of you guys
Chael?
got great names. Mike Abruzzi, Diego Lopez, incredible name.
Yeah.
It feels good. It is fun though that there's a bunch of people because they only heard my name at open mics. They think my first name is Micah.
Oh, Micah
Micah.
Abruzzi.
Yeah. They think
That's funny.
And I was
I
like,
remember must have been second grade. They're like, write your name down and then leave. No. And they're like, how many letters? I'm like, 5 and 5. And they go, oh, that's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, how many consonants? And I'm like, how many consonants, how many vowels? I'm like, 5 and 5.
They're like, my name is
wow,
completely. Because your parents were kind of doing like numerology.
They're
kind
doing
of,
numerology,
and they're like,
yeah.
oh, we need our son to have a completely symmetrical name.
Okay, what is numerology?
It's like
Michael?
science based on numbers. So it's kind of like, it's that weird thing where they'll be like, all right, so there's 50 states, and then if you divide it by 2, that's 25.
Oh,
and then
that's
Marilyn
all.
Monroe died at 25.
Yes,
and then it's
yes.
this. It's like that kind of like,
Yeah,
what is the world telling us through numbers?
It's
Yes.
math-based schizophrenia.
Yeah.
It's really, it's
all it
very,
is.
Very good
it's
way of putting
very
it.
much like it's the same. You know that video of the really Christian lady showing you how the monster logo is actually the sign for Satan.
Oh God, no! Like
It's
monster,
so-
like the energy.
Like
Like the
drink?
Monster
Yeah,
Energy
yeah.
drink, it's like her being like, okay, this is actually the Hebrew symbol for 6, and now there's 3 of them, and the M looks like it's shaped like this.
It's
so there's 3 of them
100%
in a row.
factual. I wanna
Yeah,
make that
she's like,
clear.
and there's 3 of them in a row, and that's 666, which is the devil. And the devil is a monster.
And it's a beast.
yeah,
It is a-
Unleash
yeah.
the Beast. Yeah,
Unleash the Beast.
That is, God, people are so fucking stupid,
It's-
man. Like my cousin, like is, and I love him, and
I
and-
gotta tell you, I bet you have great cousins.
Oh, I got some. I got some
you're
good-
incredible
yeah.
cousin.
You have such a I have insane cousins energy.
Well, I've got fucking 30 of them, so there's gonna be some. There's gonna be some clunkers.
Yeah.
and my cousin Chris, and I love him. He's one of my closest cousins, and he's the eldest on this side of the family. But he is hook, line, and sinker into all conspiracies, right? And he's the oldest, so he's like 45 now. I remember one time we were driving, and big weed guy, you know, and we were driving around, and he was very into like the Small Change documentary, like the,
yeah.
the you know, 9/11 inside job and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But one of the conspiracy theories, I'll never forget. We were driving somewhere. He was like 38, okay, and I was
a couple years ago.
He was like he
One
was a
president
full adult, a father.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And we're driving. He's like, you know, Osama bin Laden. Actually, they did not kill Osama bin Laden. He underwent radical reconstructive facial
knew it was going
surgery,
here.
and he's Obama. He's Barack Obama.
Oh my God.
He is Barack Obama.
Amazing.
I'm like, Chris, what? And he's like, dude, look at it. You could. And he cited the earlobes.
Yeah, of
right?
course, they love
He's
that.
like, they got the same earlobes. Like they forgot to do his earlobes.
There's
I
two
guess.
types of earlobes, by the way.
There's connected and disconnected. And they're
That's
like,
it.
well, he's connected. So
Dude, it's like I'm sitting there talking to my older cousin and having to like Chris. Well, certainly he's the most wanted man.
Certainly, you can. I could not concur with this theory, my friend. It's so
may I and very politely disagree with you.
I'm gonna gently push back here, Chris.
I
agree to disagree.
I see you and I hear you, and I'm listening to you with open arms and eyes and ears. But you sound a little foolish.
It's also so funny. It's like I'll give you the theory. I'll listen to your theory if it isn't so cartoonishly movie.
Yes.
Where it's like he's also now the president.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, facial reconstruction has been
Sure,
done.
he's in hiding.
He's a guy. He's
Yeah.
somewhere, but he's now the most popular president
Yeah.
in
he
the world.
runs for president.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna hide him in plain sight. Well, they'll never think to look. The White House.
Well, not when Obama was in office.
Not
Yeah,
one of them.
brother.
Yeah, I love the specific layer of stupidity that falls for those types of conspiracy theories, because I think to a layer of it is someone who subconsciously knows they're pretty dumb, so they need to have something in terms of knowledge.
See, that's interesting because I mean I've agonized over this for years because my cousin's not dumb, you know, and I'm not taking that like don't call my cousin dumb.
Yeah, no.
It's not that. Like he's a smart, like thoughtful guy. And so it's I'm like, what is the break here?
Yeah.
And at some point, like what I kind of like made peace with is it's like he's decided to believe this.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, like
He
made
has
a
faith.
choice.
It's
Yes.
faith. It's like
it
God.
literally is.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, that's a really good analogy. Actually, I didn't even think of it that way, but that's exactly what it is. It's like I'm gonna choose to go forward with this. Why? Who fucking knows?
Yeah, because it's the thing where it's like I don't have proof that this isn't true.
Yeah.
So you're like I can't definitively prove. I haven't watched Barack Obama his entire life to prove that he was not once Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
So I've decided that he is.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think it's the same principle too with like the JFK stuff. And me and my dad argue about this all the time. And I mean, I think there's probably some conspiracy there, but I also think it's also could be very likely that Lee Harvey Oswald just killed JFK, you know?
Yeah.
But what we can't admit to ourselves, the people that are big into conspiracy theories, is it's like you want it. You want it to be a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Because it's exciting and fun
Exactly.
and cool
Yeah.
and interesting. And they can't admit, it's like, bro, you want this to be true.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're not looking at it.
You're walking into the strip club being like, they're going to fall for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
They're going to
yes,
fall for
exactly.
me. My charm is too strong.
You're at the strip club being like, hey, where were you on September 11th? Did you get a bunch of major reconstructive surgery? Are you Osama bin Laden? You're really tall. You're the tallest stripper I've ever seen.
This 6'3" stripper with a dialysis machine is really interesting.
How sexy are your kidneys, you crazy bastard? It's funny. It's funny to make him Barack Obama, but not fix his kidneys.
And not fix it.
Yeah, not give him a new kidney.
It's so fun though, you know.
Yes.
Like I get, but I think you have to be honest with yourself and like, I'm just talking to my friend about these. This is just fun and interesting.
Yes.
But there are some that the reason that I think people fall into them is like there have been proven conspiracy theories that have been a factual thing
For sure.
But I think a lot of times those are after, like we learn about them before anyone was like, oh, I think we have some Nazi scientists working for our space program.
Yeah.
No one was saying that. It's just,
That is true.
turns out we had Nazi scientists working for our space program.
No one was looking at the space shuttle being like, seems German. Seems a lot of Germanic angles on that space shuttle.
You know, another fun fact, another Nazi airship was the fucking Hindenburg.
Yeah.
There's a huge swastika
Truly.
on the fucking Hindenburg. It's crazy. But
I'm glad that and the Challenger exploded. Fuck both of them.
They
there
should
was a
have.
swastika in the Challenger as well. Krista McCall had a tattoo on her back.
Yeah, they should have flipped it and made it a good luck one because that shit did not go well for them.
Dude, the Nazis, because it was like Werner von Braun or whatever that. Was that like
A good idea?
did
I
they
don't think
hide
so.
that knowledge did people know at the time that he was a former Nazi?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I
Because
feel like they
you
wouldn't
ever-
want to publicize it.
You ever seen Cider House Rules?
Many
Is it Cider
years
House
ago.
Rules? No, what's the movie?
I was going to say, how could this be
Jake
related?
Gyllenhaal.
October Sky.
Was it
October
October
Sky.
Sky?
Yes, I have not
He
seen
like
that.
writes letters to that Von Braun and like never once.
Really?
He's talking about Heil Hitler. Like he's never ends the letter with
HH brother.
HH.
Like Hulk Hogan signing off on a tweet.
Yeah.
HH
This letter has
brother.
to be 44 words. Let me fucking wrap it up.
Back to numerology. The 8 8
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the 1488, 14 words, and Heil Hitler,
Yeah,
the whole thing.
whatever it is.
I'm just like, I don't know if I've ever cared enough about something to remember that many numbers.
Yeah.
I still don't know. I barely know my social security number.
That is hard to remember.
It's a bunch of numbers.
I couldn't tell you what my TSA pre-check number is. I got to copy and paste that every time I fly.
Ooh, I just got mine. I just
Dude,
signed up for that,
so
by the way.
worth
I'm
it.
so excited.
It's so worth it.
Do
It's,
you have it?
I have
TSA
Clear.
pre-check? Oh, okay. So that's the same
Kinda
same thing,
same
right?
thing. It costs more and it's in less places.
Nice.
Yeah, that's their pitch. And you still gotta take your shoes off. And
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
What the fuck am I paying for?
yeah, so you
Get
basically
nothing.
get to cut the line.
Yeah.
You get to cut the regular line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I don't love giving the government even more money, but it was like, all right, $85 for 5 years to make my life so incredibly easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
And it's like if you, well, I also did I know you guys do. Neither of you drink, right?
No.
Okay, so good for you, by the way.
Thank you.
I did the credit card, the $500 a year Delta credit card
Oh, yeah,
where you
yeah,
get
yeah.
into the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, because me, like, for whatever reason, like, no matter what, I'm getting a beer or something at the airport when I fly. No matter how
I
much
know
time
the
I have.
reason.
So, it's actually right out there.
Yeah.
It's almost like you can't not
Yeah,
get one.
it's like I'm like addicted to this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, when I drink it, it makes me calmer and feel better.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Did I like myself?
Yeah.
better?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Anyway,
Easier
so,
to be around, I think.
Yeah.
but those things, like you get in the fucking the club, and it's so the beers are free.
Whoa.
That shit pays for itself.
That's-
with like 5 trips.
Yeah.
You know?
That's crazy. To have free like alcohol in there is like
Yes.
Oh, because the amount of times I have to in my head, because I know deep down that stealing is wrong. It says it in the Bible. But every time I go to the airport, I'm like, I'm not paying this much for a soda or a bottle of water, so I'm just gonna steal it. And then I'm like, if I get caught stealing at the airport,
At the
that's
I feel like that's
so
higher.
bad.
Yeah, I feel like that's higher stakes.
And I get to still fly out of here, right?
Yeah, I have like $150 of cash in my pocket. I'm just like, oh no, I just want.
But it's principle.
I felt like you were disrespecting me somehow.
Yeah.
So I decided that the Coca-Cola Zero is mine.
I read Zero. I don't know. I thought it was a
Yeah,
price thing.
I thought it was free. I thought
That's the
Coke Zero
price,
was free.
too.
Yeah.
Your Honor, get your fucking hands off me.
Yeah. You see it. I go, Your Honor, you see what these bastards do to guys like us? What do you mean like us? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Going to court for like you being arrested and you're wearing one of the I don't know what
The
they're
big
called.
powdery wig
A
on.
big wig and the black thing.
Yeah,
over-
the
what
shawl
the fuck is
with
that?
like
What
a
is that?
robe.
The robe.
The rope. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Oh man, that'd be funny. I bet they wouldn't take that
No, they
personally.
would. Yeah, no, they would. They would.
I always hate how personal they take things.
The judges.
Judges,
Yeah,
yeah.
especially when you openly mock them.
Yeah, that shouldn't matter.
They're
That's
too
like a-
sensitive.
It's like someone showing up to a comedy show and be like, I brought my own microphone. Actually, don't worry about that.
But judges will give you a worse sentencing based on whether or not you insulted them.
Dude, well, it's crazy the amount of power if you really like look at it at a granular level. Like they're making decisions. Like it's
Sure.
not all by a fucking book. They have so much leverage in what they want to do. It is fucking crazy scary.
Because you can be arrested for something and they can be like, do I think this guy should die?
Yeah.
Do I think this man should die for what he's done or
Dude,
not?
okay,
or
I-
should he just sit and rot forever?
I've been thinking about this, and I feel like someone must have done a bit on this somewhere along the line or whatever. But speaking of the death penalty,
Oh, mine.
bro, how many? Do you got? Oh,
I'm kidding.
You don't even know what it is.
Think
I did not
yeah,
call that.
That's
my
fine.
shit,
It's
yeah.
really good.
In
actually.
2 weeks, you see him doing it.
dude. Well,
I'm doing your
how
voice.
many people? Yeah.
Mike,
Why do this? Okay, I gotta look at myself. Oh, but okay, how many people have been murdered by the state or gone to prison for life because in the jury room someone's finally like, all right, I don't want to fucking argue anymore. Fine, yes,
Yeah.
guilty, God,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Let's just go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that is terrifying.
You deal with life and death the same way you deal with like trying to figure out with your girlfriend where you're going to go for Christmas.
Yes.
Where you're like,
Yes.
fuck it, whatever. We'll go see your family.
Dude,
I don't
yeah,
care. And
yes, I
then, and
just
they're
wanna
like,
go home.
yeah, they're like, hey, fucking, I don't care. I don't want to hang out with you guys anymore.
Yeah.
So let's kill this guy.
have you seen 12 Angry Men?
Yes.
Okay.
A long time ago.
It's
Is that?
fucking
I think
great.
that's kind of the same.
Yeah,
same
same-
conceit
Yeah,
there.
because there's one guy that's like, he's guilty. I gotta go to a baseball game. I got tickets to a Yankees game,
Yeah.
and it's raining, and I don't care.
Uh-huh.
But I gotta
Yeah,
go.
it is an interesting part of our society where it's like, some people
Yeah.
are going to decide.
Yes.
I think it is a very interesting thing to be like a jury of your peers to kind of like take the blame off of the state for
Yeah, that's
for
an
killing
interesting-
you.
It's-
to
it's
be like,
your
no,
own
it's, I'm
people.
sorry, it's those 12 guys. You should have. You should
And they're
have.
your peers. You basically did it to yourself.
Yeah. You hang out with
Yeah.
guys like this who want to kill you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's because then also more recently, Juror Number 2. Have you seen the Clint Eastwood movie, Juror Number 2?
I haven't seen it.
Not very good.
Is it not?
I don't.
No.
I didn't think so. I've been seeing a lot of positive reviews for it. I'm like, wow, all right, interesting.
I like the dude. The French love Clint Eastwood. If you look at like
really?
you know that magazine Cahiers du
Richard
Cinema
Jewell.
or whatever, they fucking are obsessed with this
I
motherfucker.
had no idea.
And even his late era directorial movie.
Yeah.
Director movies, whatever.
Yeah.
They love this motherfucker.
I had no idea.
And so many of his movies that got like absolutely lambasted in America, you look at the French reviews, like the high level, like the elite magazines, and they're all over that shit. You know that guy Drew Scheid? Do you know him?
I don't think so.
He's a I think he does. He came to our open mic a couple times, so he does comedy, but he's comedy adjacent. He's in that movie, Juror Number 2.
No
yeah,
way.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
like a small role, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of French guys being like, "Je t'aime, Richard Jewell," smoking a cigarette.
I love you, Richard Jewell. Richard Jewell.
Richard Jewell.
Not a bad movie, by the way.
I like it. We saw it in
We
theaters.
saw
I
it
love
together.
that.
Yeah, we saw it up in Lincoln Center with some of the oldest Jews you've ever seen in your entire life. Just a bunch of people fully eating soup.
So much coughing. It was crazy.
It was crazy. Why did we go up so far?
Yeah. I don't know.
Dude, I had a similar situation. I went to see a French movie with Nick Nanny at Film Forum, and a woman.
I thought Nick Nanny was in the movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this? I want to
Well,
see.
he was certainly in the theater, and everyone knows because he has the loudest fucking distinctive
Yeah.
laugh,
Yeah.
and he's always the only one laughing at the
Yeah.
time. But there was an old woman there that, dude, she had one of those you know the bags at the grocery store that you rip off and you put produce in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they're very noisy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Dude, she was eating something from those for like 30 straight minutes.
Jesus.
And people were like getting like uncomfortable around her. And then she started mixing something with a metal straw. So it was metal clanking and the thing. And they sent other people in the audience, summoned the theater staff 3 times, and they would not kick this fucking woman out.
God.
And so
So
the people
insane.
behind were so mad that they didn't kick her out. She was still just doing her thing, and at one point got up and just started doing like
Oh my
she's like
God, squatting?
She was like stretching.
Like
was
she's on a
stretching in
long
the middle
flight?
of the movie, and the people, like the 2 theater personnel that came out, they wouldn't kick her out. They were just standing in the back watching her. So you had her doing fucking thrusts, 2 people hovering, and then 3 people cursing to themselves under their breath for the last hour of the movie.
Jesus.
And she absolutely derailed the whole experience, but it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
It was funny as hell.
It's almost like if you can guarantee that there's going to be something like that and you go to a bad movie purposefully.
You got to go to
so
a
then
bad
you
movie
get
then.
you get to either A, enjoy the insanity that is a human being, or B, you get to tell someone to shut the fuck up.
Yes,
Which
yes.
is so fun.
Dude, okay, I wish, see, you of course have a martial arts expertise, and that you do get to carry that with you everywhere you go.
Everywhere.
Like I am like fully, I'm terrified. You know, like the advantage, I'm sure this is part of your discipline, you know, the advantage anyone has over me in a fight is that I'm sure I'll lose. You know, like I'm scared.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and I start like shaking. And so I have, people are often surprised because I seem like I'm a loud person,
Yeah.
but I'm not confrontational at all. I'm terrified of confrontation.
You're gregarious.
Yes.
Yes.
Bombastic,
I'm
yeah.
a bombastic, Mr. Bombastic, Mr.
I
Gregarious.
have to call you Mr. Fantastic. Would you like another seltzer? Yeah, I'll get you another seltzer. Keep talking, keep
thanks.
talking, keep talking.
But I feel like, Diego, that must be the most liberating thing to walk. Everywhere you walk. No, don't worry about the seltzer. I'm fine. Everywhere you walk, you know that by 99.9% of the time, if something goes down, I will be able to protect myself and I
Yeah.
won't get hurt.
Your body's
you know?
a gun.
My
Yeah.
body is a gun.
You
It's a
have the confidence
sexy
of
gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is pretty sick.
Yeah, dude.
And like recently, with everyone freaking out on the subway, with all the
yeah.
stabbings and the pushing, I've been standing closer to the edge than ever. I fucking dare you to put your hands on me, dude.
Do you think you've switched into vigilante mode yet?
Can I switch? No, because I haven't done anything.
What do you think he's going to start strangling some people like
I
that?
think-
Like that poor guy?
Yeah.
Not, wait.
Yeah.
No, the poor guy's the dead guy.
The guy poor,
Not
yeah.
the poor
That
army
poor
guy.
bastard who was
Innocent.
crucified by liberal media for what he's done. And that's Bobby saying that, not me.
Bobby wins.
He's too busy crying over how bad he feels for Daniel Penny or
Yeah,
whatever his fucking
how
name
much he
is.
deserves for hanging out with Vivek? I don't know what the fuck
Oh,
his name
Vivek
is.
Ramaswamy.
Oh, Ramaswamy.
Some
Yeah.
And fucking JD Vance going to the Ohio State game with
Embarrassing.
JD Vance. Fucking
It'd be funny if he got in that booth in the, like, you know, when you're at a football game, it's a private, I don't know what it's called.
the box.
Skybox.
Box.
Yeah.
And he just chokes out JD Vance to death.
That'd be
Like,
so.
whoa.
Like, oh, this guy has bloodlust, actually. But then all the people who hated him were kind of like, fuck, we like that he choked out JD Vance.
do like that.
That is
Interesting.
kind of a way to win everyone. But then you get killed by the Secret Service immediately because they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is an overwhelming sense of calm
Yes.
that I have because there is that lack of fear.
Yeah.
There's still the awareness of
Sure.
it, but it's not like anxiety inducing. Like literally yesterday, coming home from the gym, I wait on the train and 6 teenagers are sprinting and screaming up and down the station, basically.
Oh.
And they're pushing each other, having a good time. They're having friends. But I'm like, oh, this would make some Park Slope white lady freak out.
Yeah.
And they're running around, and they stop literally behind me.
Yeah.
And are talking and pushing each other. And I'm like, oh, this would be weird for someone else, probably.
Yeah.
And I'm
But you're not,
not nervous.
Because
I'm
there
like,
is
yeah.
nothing more terrifying than teenagers, too.
No,
by the way,
yeah.
the
You
scariest
don't understand
people in the world.
consequences, and they have muscles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was walking. I was the first person off of the L train to transfer to the G last night. And I could tell because it was pretty busy. There was a bunch of people behind me. And it was really funny to just hear someone who did not have enough confidence. It was a guy and his girlfriend, and the guy kept going, just say excuse me. Like they're trying to go around me, just say excuse me. And I was like, I'm not breaking stride for even a second. I was like, if you want to go around me, you're going to have to start sprinting because I'm walking pretty fast.
Pretty
already.
brisk.
Strike
We're
me
not
as a slow
slow
walker.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm going, and I've decided it's not really a New Year's resolution, but I've decided I will no longer turn to the side for anyone anymore. Just in the way where I'm like, if
Hold on real quick.
oh, thank you so much. But it's because it
Give him
definitely
a
works.
kiss because you like that idea
Yeah.
so much.
But I feel like there's so many times where there's two people being like, like doing that. And I'm like, I just go forward now.
Yeah.
I know, I'm like, well, we're both going to be doing this. It's like, how about this? You just get out of my way, and I'll keep going, and you feel bad about how you're not a man or whatever. Like later, like I'm already on my way to the train.
I love that Mike's New Year's resolution is to be more selfish.
Yeah.
I'm
But I
gonna
think
be more
it's
unique.
I think
very narrow parameters.
no.
too.
First of all, it's not more selfish. It's teaching people how to act.
Okay, that's
Because
fair.
I'm saying I'm not turning sideways for like if there's a group walking 3 wide,
Yeah.
I'm not turning to the side for them anymore. I'm walking straight.
Yes,
I'm
that-
They need to bank
They
off.
need to watch out for me. I'm not saying I'm going to be like if someone wants to get past me in the grocery store, I'm not going. I made a resolution, but I am like being like, okay, I'm not going to make myself feel small.
You're not going to accommodate
Yes.
if you don't need to.
Exactly.
And people
For
should never be walking 3 abreast in New York
It's
City
insane.
anyway.
There's too many breasts.
Yeah. Well, I'm
2
hey,
or 4.
2 or 4.
Dude, I had actually a very similar moment, and I wish I kind of had you. Well, actually, I did have a you.
Yeah.
Let me just tell the little story. So I was coming, at the Court Square, the G7 at
Yes.
Court Square, all the way in Queens.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I transferred from the G to the 7 for work, and on the way back, there's a huge escalator that
Yeah.
goes down to
Really
the G.
fucking big, yeah.
And you stand to the right and you walk to the left, and on the left there's some teenagers that are standing, in the walking area.
Yeah.
And I'm the first one up, and I'm just like, this is what we're talking about. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I'm not gonna say anything to the teenagers. I'm just gonna stand here and deal with it and be mildly pissed off. And I feel someone come up behind me. And he's like in my ear. He's like, just go, just walk through.
Oh my God.
And then I was kind of afraid of him, so I'm like, okay. And sure enough, I just started walking down. I'm like, pardon me. And, of course, the kids moved out of the fucking way.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, get down there. I'm
just
like,
go.
God, why didn't I just say pardon me? Why did I need a man to tell me to just say pardon me?
Pardon
Like,
It's
that's
funny
gonna
how-
be my new resolution.
Yeah. It is funny how much of that's like socialized, like, I don't want to get in the way.
Yes.
I don't want to be a bother.
Yes.
That's feminine thinking, bro. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But there is the thing where it's like, when someone is like trying to merge on the highway and they're being too cautious.
Yeah.
And then
It
now
almost
it's
is
creating
worse. Yeah.
it's worse,
And
and
that's
they're
more
creating a
dangerous,
problem. Yeah. So you're like, oh, I'm actually by me thinking I'm being polite, I am. It's like when I'm riding my bike and someone starts crossing the street when they shouldn't, and then instead of just going, they kind of like go back and
Yes.
forth, and I'm like, no, I've already calculated that you're going to be this far this way, so I'm cutting this way, and now you're going back and forth, and now you're going to clip my wheel or I'm going to hit you, because you've decided to not have confidence, and now that
Yes.
it's somehow making everything worse for
This
all
is
of us.
relationships too. I mean,
Hey, come on.
we're getting into it.
Yeah.
But it is like relationships, the amount of years in therapy I've had where it's like, if you don't ask what
wouldn't
you
have guessed.
need. Oh yeah, many, and a number of different therapists of varying quality. But but it is this thing of like, you don't ask what you need in a relationship, so then you just build up resentment
Yes.
the whole time
Oh,
until
brother.
you absolutely cannot take another fucking second, and you completely blindside the person. Like, I gotta get out of here, and they don't
Yeah.
understand.
It was such a small thing. Why are you so mad? It's like
Yeah.
it's 1,000 death by 1,000
Yes,
cuts.
Yeah.
exactly.
And there's always this is an issue that I have, one of many.
One a minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the room. I'm gonna get yourself to
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Oh,
but
thanks.
it's like, so like that thing where it's like when there is like a compounding problem where you're like, okay, I don't want to be the person, because I feel like when I was younger, I'd be the person where the first time a problem happened, I'm like, this is a problem.
Okay.
And then now I'm like, okay, because this could be a thing that has happened once. And I don't want to be like, you always make me fucking do blah, blah. But
Yeah.
then now it's like, oh, this has actually happened 30 times, and now I'm furious about it at all
Yes.
times. And I'm like, I need to figure out what is the midpoint.
Exactly. Where does
between-
one end and the other begin?
Yeah, but between it being like, oh, this thing has happened twice over the course of 2 years, so it's actually not a problem.
Yes.
Or this is a thing that I feel like it's an issue for me or whatever. But it is, I don't know.
It's a fucking constant dance, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Blood orange again. Hell yeah.
Dude, yeah. So basically, but it's weird because I've actually never had any problems in any relationship I've been in.
It's true.
They've all been
Flawless
they've all been
victories.
perfect, and I've actually been a really good boyfriend to everyone I've ever dated.
You've executed each one perfectly.
Dude, yeah, I've never left a bad taste in a woman's mouth, metaphorically or actually.
Neil's back.
Neil's back. There he is. No, it's.
What's your problems in relationships? Other than your body making women feel insecure.
My body makes me feel insecure. I'm trying to think. Kind of selfish at times. I can really concern myself just with my issues and wants.
Yeah.
And I have a tendency to start fires.
Yeah. Arson. I got
Arson is a big one, right?
like a whole arson thing going
it makes me
on.
feel like God.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've been in like a real long relationship, and I feel like I know I've gotten
I guess you do pay for the girlfriend experience a lot, but
I
that's
do pay
that's
for
different.
it. I go, hey, do you want to, ask me where we should go to eat? And they get mad at me when I make a decision.
I pay for the girlfriend experience. I pay a sex worker to come over and tell me about how work is hard, and then she goes home and we don't fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
It's the girlfriend experience.
But yeah, I think the major one, at least with the big girlfriend, she's huge. No, the big relationship,
7 foot tall.
huge. It was Osama bin Laden with tits, and I think a lot of that was that I was trying to be a fighter and I was training like crazy. And when I was home, I was too tired to do anything and to be present for her, and it was unfair.
Yeah.
And I will get her back. No.
I've been
How long ago was this?
Geez, that was 10 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've had
so
another girlfriend since then, but that was different issues.
Okay.
racial.
I had racial mostly. Her
She's
name was
white.
Rachel Dolezal, and
Yeah.
she was black to me.
She was black to me.
But yeah, I'm currently seeing someone, and I feel like I have grown in that
Yeah.
way. And I'm like, I am getting better at that because I wanted to get better at
Good.
it.
Yeah.
I just treat dating, I treat generally everything like sports. I just assess what my faults are.
What your
Yeah.
And go, how do I get better? How can I make drills to get better at this?
And
Well, it
you-
works
you
for me.
Draft new attributes.
Yeah, literally.
I treat Diego's dating like sports and that I've been betting on it on my phone.
He will have sex tonight.
Well, are you in a relationship, Mike?
I am.
You are, how long?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Ooh.
No, like a year and a half or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, did I meet her when we were at that picnic? Geez, that was probably more than 2 years ago now, actually.
No, who was at that picnic?
But you may not
I
have
don't
even
know.
came with anyone.
No, trust me, I don't come with
Just
anyone.
you see a woman around like, hey, is that your girlfriend?
Yeah, you see a woman with bangs and you're like, that's probably Mike's girlfriend.
That's a statue.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
it is-
Statue of Liberty.
That my therapist told me what I do in lieu of relationships is like creative solutions, which is like mini.
It sounds like you make spreadsheets.
Yeah, it sounds like a biz.
It sounds like you're a company that has really jazzed up the idea of making spreadsheets. How do you creative solutions?
It sounds like a consulting firm.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'll have I can't actual commitment to a real relationship really fucks with my head, and I just can't navigate it very well at the moment, at least. So I'll have mini relationships, and with a lot of exes, we stay in touch with
Okay.
Very
that
degree of
sort of
intensity.
thing.
And do you do the
Yeah.
thing where in your head you're like, this is actually I'm a romantic.
Yes.
I do this is very romantic for me. We have this really intense 3 weeks and then we never talk to each other again.
Bro,
and that doesn't say anything bad about me or or the way that because I definitely for a long time I either was in open relationships or long distance ones or
Yeah.
sometimes both at the same time.
Yes.
And then that was a way and I was like, I'm actually really forward thinking and I'm a good guy and I'm smart and I actually I like women when they have freedom and not being I've actually decided a way that I can be kind of a fuck boy and a boyfriend at the same
Yes.
time.
But you say that, I think, with too self-critically, because that's also another way to look at that is you're modifying your behavior to fit what you're capable of at that given moment.
Yeah.
I have an open long distance relationship right now. So,
Yeah.
So it's like
Nice.
you're saying that, I'm like, there's nothing actually wrong with that.
Yeah.
But it is
And what's their full name?
for reasons that we won't speak on camera, I'll tell you why I can't tell you that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And
that's
it's
exciting.
a good put it behind a paywall and we'll
Yeah.
get
There
down
you
to it.
go. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's sometimes you just, and it's also not to be this bitch, okay, but it is kind of you look at it, it's Jesus Christ, we live in New York City, it's 2025, the model of one boy and one girl getting married and live forever and ever. It's kind of like, dude, come on. That's not like, and God bless when people can do that. That's great.
Because if the divorce rates weren't a coin toss, basically at this point,
literally.
I'd be a little more open-minded to the idea of monogamy.
Yes.
Of strict monogamy.
Yes. Are your folks married, divorced, what?
My parents are together, but
My parents are quite divorced.
Yeah, mine too.
That is the thing too. Also, one time, I was getting into the car at my mom's house, and kind of out of nowhere, she goes, "You know, maybe not everyone's built for monogamy." And I was like, well, "You are. And we're not going to talk about this now." And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to talk about this with you. I'm talking about this with enough baristas with micro bangs. I'm not talking about it with my mother."
Wait, was she talking about your life or her own?
I don't know. More her than mine.
Well, dude, after my last relationship catastrophe, my mom said to me, and it was so meaningful. Because she's like, I'm an only child, you know, and she wants grandkids, of course, you know, and she's also made her peace along the way. That's like, that may not happen or whatever. But after the most recent one, she was like, we were on the phone, I was telling her about it, and she's like, Bobby, does it feel like anything's missing from your life as you live it now? And I'm like, no. And she's like, okay, so quit forcing yourself into these situations. I'm like, oh,
that's
nice.
Yeah.
That's a very like self-assured and like just a very like, not like, it's just a way that's like, oh, because there's so many parents who are so like wrapped up in the weird like timeline being like, I think it's always so weird when a parent is like, my kid has to have a kid.
Yes.
So my kid has to have a kid so I could be a grandparent. It's like, do you have like some kind of grandparent biological clock that is ticking? Where all of a sudden you won't be able to buy my kid a bunch of toys because you're 70 instead of 60?
I wonder, I mean, I was thinking about that, and it's like, I bet you the grandparent experience must be pretty amazing to have a child that is like you know, but that you're not responsible for in any like they can't annoy you.
It's like being a dog walker.
Yes,
Because I was a dog walker for 5 years. I never needed a dog because I had a bunch of dog grandchildren in the way where I was like, oh, I get to spend 30 minutes to whatever a week with this dog, and that is awesome. And then after that, my responsibility is gone.
Yes, and I don't have to. It doesn't die on me.
Exactly.
You know, like that is. Bro.
That has to. I think about it all the time because it's like, you know, I don't think it's like so wrong to make fun of like helicopter parents or whatever. I think they are a little bit like intense, but I do understand the like feeling of being like, this thing could fucking die.
Oh, yeah. I just gotta take care of this.
And that would be my fault. 100%.
Yeah.
It's not smart enough to protect itself yet.
Yeah, there should be, especially for this generation, how less and less of us are having kids. There is that yearning for our parents for grandchildren. There should be a cat cafe sort of thing with children there. So people like single mothers and fathers who have to go to work.
Single fathers.
You bring your kids to this daycare that's also a cafe, and elderly people get to come and hang out with your kid. And I have a gun. I'm there with a gun. No one can do anything weird.
But I think this is a thing where it's like unless people are having kids, yes. But there's still a lot being made. It's just like, oh, they really mean upwardly mobile, highly educated white people are not having kids as much as they used to.
So I shouldn't take this idea to Shark Tank.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you should make the pedophile incubator a real business.
It's just
they ruin everything.
They really do, the fucking peds,
dude.
Oh yeah, them.
You meant Shark Tank.
Shark Tank.
But I feel very lucky because I have. I think my parents very young. Well, because my sister had a kid while she was in high school. Okay. So they quickly. They quickly became grandparents.
Yeah.
So I don't have that pressure, and both of my sisters are older than me, so they're like, okay, boom, they got kids, whatever. And then also, it seemed like almost a little too young. My parents were like, we don't expect you to have kids. And I was like, give me a chance.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Give me a chance to have sex first before you tell me that I'm not fit to be a father.
They've already given up on you.
Yeah.
What about your folks with you? Or how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have an older brother and a younger sister. None of us have kids.
Okay.
And none of us will ever have kids.
Okay.
It's pretty clear.
That's really wild to me.
Yeah.
That for like,
Because we're Hispanic. That's crazy.
Because you're Hispanic, because of how fertile your family seems to be.
dude, absolutely.
Just from generational.
Where's your family from, by the way?
Colombia.
Colombia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both.
Are your folks from Colombia?
Both my parents are immigrants, filthy immigrants from
Yeah,
Colombia.
yeah.
Have you been to Colombia?
I have, but not in a very long time. I went twice when I was a kid, or three times technically.
Dude, we got to take our family vacation, which is when I go to Colombia with Diego's entire family.
Dude, that would be fucking
It'd be a
amazing.
really
Yeah.
great time.
I think
Where in Colombia are they from?
Pereira and Antioquia.
Okay.
My dad's from Antioquia.
Antioquia, I feel like I've heard of before.
Okay.
But maybe not.
I honestly lose track of what is a city and what is a
like
state
a state or a
to them.
province. Okay.
Yeah.
The place I spent the most time when I went to Colombia was Pereira.
Okay.
Which was great.
Yeah.
And my parents were just in Colombia like a month and a half ago. And I keep telling them like, hey, give me a heads up. Maybe I can go with you one time.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're flying. And I'm like, oh, all right, have fun.
Hey, we're on the way to the airport.
Literally the last time I got a call, they're like,
Where do they live?
they live in South Florida.
Okay. You're from Florida,
I'm
right?
from-
Yeah, that's right.
Born in New Jersey, grew up in South Florida.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a beautiful place that was very, very dangerous for a long time.
Yeah.
And still is to a degree, but not as much as it
The
was.
tourism has been kind of crazy in the past like
Huge.
decade or so.
Yeah,
or
I feel
more.
like it's-
About a decade.
I feel like I know so many like single, like fresh out of a breakup white women who go there to like find
Dude,
themselves.
yes. Me too. Like,
them.
seriously.
They're like, oh, I can go take a picture from a beautiful pastel wall
Yeah.
while I wear a linen dress.
'Cause there's
it's
an
gonna make my
area-
hinge go crazy.
There's an area, I can't remember off the top of my head, in Colombia that's like very Instagrammable,
Yeah.
where there's like a bunch of like umbrellas hanging on the streets, like
Yeah.
it's beautiful
Yeah.
painted. It's made for tourists.
It's the that high was it High Street in Dumbo, the one that goes up to the
Yeah,
the
yeah,
picture for the
basically.
bridge.
Yes. Yes.
But it's next to there's this rock that is enormous and it sticks out like it looks like a meteor landed, and they have flooded the area with water. So it's just this rock covered or surrounded by water and a bunch of little islands. It looks insane and it's man-made, but it's still like beautiful and like
But it's like it's man-made. So are the canals in Venice.
Exactly.
And those
Yeah.
are also beautiful.
Also
And I've
beautiful.
also never been there.
and I've also I'll never go there either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to go back. But yeah, it'd be very fun to go with I definitely want to go with my siblings and my parents and Mike.
And Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mike.
Yeah.
And me.
really
Yeah.
fun.
You know,
It'd
maybe,
be
maybe bring me too.
And
Yeah.
I mean,
I went to
the more
Argentina
the
twice in
merrier.
the last twice in the last year.
Oh, relics?
Well, I was relics. Argentina relics.
No, it's like a Nazi joke.
Oh,
Yeah. The
Bro,
post
by the way-
1944 relics.
okay. In Argentina,
Yeah.
like the Nazi thing. Of course, we know that, but like, dude, like you say, "Yo comí una pizza nazi." Like Nazi means cool in slang.
Whoa.
Nazi. Yo comí un pizza nazi. Like it's
I've never. That's crazy.
It's crazy, dude. Like there's of course a sort of ambivalence about the Nazi history there, but it's
I bet.
also like I feel like they're kind of like, yeah, you know, like I don't know that they're fully.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, like I dude, a good friend of mine who I had like a kind of a romance with there. She went to a German speaking school for her entire like grade school to high school.
Jeez.
Like there's a major German connection in Argentina. It's very, very interesting
Very wild.
and very kind of like creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy that they're still like, yeah, it's fine. Like every other place that had Nazis around, they're kind of like, hey, sorry about that.
Yeah,
We weren't going
Argentina.
with this.
Well, here's the thing, and you probably know this. Argentinians apologize for nothing.
Yeah.
They're the most arrogant people
They're-
on
yeah.
planet Earth. It
The
is-
most unbearable Hispanic. I don't know. I was a Latin or Hispanic, whatever. They're
Yeah.
just unbearable.
well, they don't
South
even
Americans.
consider themselves Latin
No,
or
they're-
Hispanic.
they're like, we're
European.
better than everyone.
Yes,
It's like, wow.
yes.
Oh,
the
interesting.
superiority complex is like wild there. It's a beautiful
It's really
country.
strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. How about this? Let's jump into the energy drink
wow.
corner.
Okay.
Energy drink corner. Bobby, do you have any? Do you drink energy drinks? What's
No.
your regimen? What's the last one you've had? Anything
The-
like that?
I would say I don't drink them at all. I'm a coffee person.
Coffee guy.
I think the last one, bro, honestly, like the last one I probably ever had was at some like concert or whatever where they have a pickup truck that has them in the back and they're like
Yeah.
for free
Yeah.
you can try blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Yeah, I have very
Hey,
little experience.
Yeah, this one's sponsored by Rockstars.
Yeah.
Oh,
This-
you-
No, I mean like
No.
the concert. Like
Oh, yes,
the concert.
yes.
I'm at the
Yes.
Rockstar Summer Series.
Yeah, exactly.
And down by the water in Greenpoint, and yeah, it's filter. They're
Yeah.
playing picture, and then they're leaving.
We gave them $8,000 and they were happy to take it.
Filter and 7 Mary 3.
yeah.
Jesus. So we review a different energy drink every episode.
Okay.
This week we have Red Bulls, the Sea Blue edition.
Sea Blue.
It's
okay.
Juneberry flavored. You ever heard of a Juneberry before?
Never even heard of a Juneberry.
I don't think they're real.
Yeah.
Red Bull, the Sea Blue edition, the taste of Juneberry, artificially flavored. The wings of Red Bull. Red Bull is appreciated worldwide by top athletes and busy professionals, college athletes, college students, and travelers on long journeys. 38 grams of sugar, motherfucker.
Jeez, that's
This
a
is
lot,
the full.
right?
This is the full sugar
160
one.
calories, yeah. So Juneberry,
This has no.
winter, I guess, is this the winter edition, I guess? Is that
No,
what it is?
I think that's a different one. That might be
different.
from like the fall or something.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's not
Ooh,
blue.
It's not
It's
blue.
a very satisfying
It
purple.
smells delicious and
does
oddly memorable. What's the word here? Like I recognize it.
It's like a little.
Oh, you take one of those and hand one.
Okay.
Get that to Mikey.
Awesome.
There you go.
Thank
That's
you.
for you.
These
my
are
friend.
nice, like camp wear.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
we
yeah.
can't. Hey, friendship.
Are you having? Oh yeah, duh.
Friendship.
Okay, Nasrovia. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Let's find out. Because I looked it up. It's because it's almost like the plant of the Juneberry is very it's like the
White
seed of a flower.
Yeah.
This is the best energy drink I've ever had.
Wow.
Like this is. I don't know. I swear to God, I'm not mugging for you guys.
This is the best. Yeah,
This is, you know why? Because we drink so many of the like sugar-free ones. The fact that we're drinking like
Real
a sugar
sugar?
one, I'm like, yeah.
Well,
It's-
and,
That monkey meme where it's a neuron activated.
this doesn't. It oddly enough, it doesn't taste very sweet. I think what I like about it is whatever is in Red Bull. I don't know if it's that taurine or whatever. It has a very distinct flavor that I don't like.
Almost like
and this
almost
doesn't
like medicinal.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. This doesn't have that. This is really nice.
Yeah, it just tastes
Very
like purple.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's slightly sophisticated. It's elevated energy.
Yeah, it doesn't
drink.
feel like a. It doesn't feel like a drink for babies.
No.
Or
Yeah.
like a grape soda even.
It's
But
that-
it's in that world.
That fine line between chaos chemical energy drink and bullshit yerba mate kind of like just green tea thing where it like just tastes whatever. This is good.
This tastes almost like if you took like the Martinelli's like sparkling grape juice and you put a shit ton of sugar in it.
Yeah.
If you made it really sweet.
That's really nice.
Yeah,
It's
it is
really
nice.
good. So we rate them
Okay.
0 to 5 lightning bolts.
Okay.
0, you hate it.
Okay.
5, you like it so much you're gonna buy it out. You're gonna search it out online and buy it for yourself.
Okay.
So 4 basically means you see in the store, you're getting it.
Okay. Is there any half?
Yeah, you
have-
you can go as granular as you would like.
I'm going 4.5 because I'm not going to fucking buy it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
all things considered, that was excellent.
Excellent.
For
Yeah.
a energy drink.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a 4 for me. I think it's a real 4.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic energy.
What is a 5 that you guys have had?
Oh,
have
I'll
you
give-
had a 5?
Oh, yeah.
So we have our favorites. So to me, there's a brand called
This is so funny. You're both sober, living and absolutely poisoning yourself.
Yeah,
with
oh,
all
yeah.
this
yeah.
shit.
Dude, if they, I mean, I was gonna say if they made energy drinks as a Zin, I would do it. They do.
They do, and we
they do it.
reviewed
We
it.
tried them.
There's a brand called Goat Fuel.
Okay.
It's Jerry Rice's brand.
Oh, okay.
And they're like really good in terms of like what they put in it. It's like,
Okay.
a lot of,
Yeah,
like
it's
mushroom extract, like for like literal athletes.
Okay.
And they have a flavor called tropical berry that is my favorite.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
but they have 2 or 3 other ones that are 5s in my opinion. I
Okay.
have one downstairs like you could try if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goat fuel.
Goat Fuel's unbelievable.
Redcons.
Retcons, their Baja Blast version. I can't remember what it's called because they changed. I believe they changed the name from Baja Bomb to Vice City, or the Vice City tastes a lot like the Baja Bomb.
Yeah.
Insane.
Names are wild.
Kill Cliff.
Kill Cliff.
Yeah, has a Joe Rogan edition.
Okay.
It's ginger and pineapple, which is a fucking amazing combo.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Those are
Yeah.
5s in my
Yeah.
book.
Okay.
Those are great. I love the there's an Australian energy drink called Mother.
Mother.
Yeah.
Mother.
And it seems
Great song.
the font of it seems almost
Maternal?
no.
Like it should be in
in Argentina.
Argentina.
yeah.
But it'd be really popular as you drink with the Argentines.
Yeah, they have 2 flavors that are 5s, which is the tropical one and the passion fruit one.
Okay.
Passion fruit one is really unbelievable.
Wow.
That's great. I mean, the yellow can of Red Bull is really on.
What's the worst one you guys have had?
The Rock's energy drink Zoa.
Zoa is dog
Okay.
shit.
Is really
It's one of the
some
worst
of the
things I've ever had.
The
Okay.
coffee monsters are really bad.
Oh God.
Those are bad.
Yeah, we gotta organize a list of worst. Someone,
yeah.
I don't know if they're still doing it. They're doing like a spreadsheet of all, because we've done like 300.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The spreadsheet of all the energy drinks we've ever done and our rating for them. I just can't.
Yeah, I wish
don't have
the
that kind of
actual
time.
Mountain Dew Energy Baja Blast one, which I think is discontinued now. That is an because it just
Was
tastes
good?
like it just tastes like Baja Blast.
Okay.
Like,
What
it
was the
tastes-
blue one?
The blue one was called like berry, like pomegranate rush or something. Pomegranate berry
fantastic.
blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, those were really good. I don't think they make them anymore.
Yeah,
but
we
those
are. Oddly enough, like some of the most
well-versed
highest authorities in the energy drink.
on energy
You gotta,
drinks.
someone else made a fucking spreadsheet
Yeah,
of
yeah,
how
yeah.
much
Shout
shit
out.
you drank.
They, have
Dragon Heart, I
they did
believe.
creative solutions for our energy
Yeah,
drink
so the
consumption.
Juneberry, big winner. This is
Huge.
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
huge.
You want
Honestly,
more of it?
shocked at how good that was. Yeah, pour me another little
There you go,
sip
buddy.
there.
The other little segment we do,
thanks, man.
there you go, buddy. I forgot is we do our Letterboxd top 4 with our guests. Are
Okay.
you on Letterboxd?
I literally made an account on Letterboxd probably 1 week ago.
What is your name on this?
RJ Condon.
RJ Condon.
Yeah. I don't do I rate him. I don't write anything
Okay.
kind of brand new.
Okay,
But,
like a little diary.
yes.
Have you done your top 4 yet?
No. Do you
So-
top 4 of all time?
Yes.
Okay.
So in your Letterboxd, I'll show you.
Okay. Should I pull mine up?
Yeah, pull your out. So
Is it an app or is it? Oh.
it's an app.
Okay. I think I might actually have it. Hold on. There we go.
There,
Okay.
okay. If you go to your profile, on the bottom right, the little logo of a guy's. Oh, you gotta sign in.
Oh no.
We could do it digitally
Okay.
later. Don't worry
Okay.
about it. But if you go to your profile,
Yeah.
you have your favorites, and this is called your top 4.
okay.
And Letterboxd will go to movie previews or
Premieres.
and as celebrities, what's your top 4?
Okay.
Since you're not a celebrity, and
Okay.
neither are we,
Yeah.
but we are friends, and your opinion is important to me.
Okay.
What are your top 4 movies of all time? And again, it doesn't matter, all
Okay.
time. And you could a movie that I felt the most about, movie
Yes.
that I rewatched the most, movie that I jack off my penis to until
Okay.
I come.
Cadillac Man with Fran Drescher.
Cadillac
That's
Man,
number
Fran
one.
Drescher.
Sure, tits are out. So that's big for me.
Okay. All right. So, once upon a time, you would ask me that question. I'd go, bah, 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 bah. Now I have to think about it a little bit more.
Okay.
All right. The best movie ever made, I think, is 2001: Space Odyssey.
Okay.
Okay.
I would say one of the movies that gives me the best feeling in my heart and that I've watched a million times is You Can Count on Me. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Kenneth Lonergan film with Mark. It was Mark Ruffalo's coming out party, kind of.
Oh.
It's the guy who made
knew he was
Manchester by the Sea. Great movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great movie to watch with a lady too, if you ever want to do
Okay.
that.
Oh, Laura Linney's in it.
Yeah,
Matthew
she's
Broderick.
fantastic.
Good.
And Broderick.
Yeah.
Broderick is a funny creep in it.
Awesome.
I would say, dude, I hate to be basic, but bro, fucking Goodfellas.
Yes,
is
it's
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
And
That's
then-
like saying, you know what's awesome? A hamburger.
Yeah, it
is.
So
We're
it
not
says
gonna
nothing
argue.
about me. You
Yeah.
know? And
it says you had good taste. I'll tell you that.
well,
now.
okay, I'll take that.
Listen, I can tell you like Goodfellas from the bracelets.
Fair enough.
yeah.
And I would say I feel like there's a glaring omission that I'll like
I mean, it's
be
only
walking
4
home and I'll be like,
movies.
fuck. I will say,
It's a good snap.
you know,
It's got Chicago.
Boogie Nights. I would say
Nice.
Boogie Nights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yay.
Yeah. What are your guys's?
You go first.
I go first. So, Elaine Mays, Mikey, and Nikki.
Oh, dude, I
That's
recently watched that. That is so good.
It's so good. The piano teacher,
Who's in that?
Isabelle Huppert, and some weird
Michael
looking
Haneke
guy.
film.
Yeah,
Oh,
Haneke,
Michael
yeah.
Haneke.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a real
So that's
freak.
yeah.
creepo.
It's a real,
Yeah.
Real fucking
freak
creepo.
movie, dude.
I want to look that up. Okay,
Yeah.
go on.
And then Kelly Reichardt's Old Joy.
Oh, I've heard. Isn't Bonnie Prince Billy in that?
Yeah.
movie?
Yes, he's
Okay.
one of the 2 guys in it.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
Okay.
And and then Todd Solondz's Happiness.
Oh yes, yes, bro.
That was off of my top 4 for a while because I was like, all right, okay, we get it. You got a weird haircut. I like that movie. And then I was like, no, man, I love that fucking movie.
You wouldn't fuck me, would you, Dad? No, I jerk off instead. Oh,
yeah. It's really two of the most, it's truly my top 4 is split between two of the most perverted movies ever made.
Would the other one be Piano?
And the other two are, Happiness and Piano Teacher. And then Old Joy and Mikey and Nikki are just literally two movies made by women about men's friendships falling apart.
Interesting.
That's
wow.
all, that is what it is. So it's like, okay, two of the movies where you have to be like, hey, I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm
Before you
sorry
make someone
you're
watch
watching
it.
this.
And then the other two is being like, yeah, these women know that men's friendships are a lot more romantic than we would ever let on. Yeah, they get it. Anyway, not too much to look into that. All right.
By the way, my name's Mike, not Neil. Okay? Wow.
It's
great
not
picks.
Neil and Nikki.
Mikey and Neely.
Mikey and Neely. My number 1 is Sidney Lumet's 12 Angry Men. It's my favorite movie
hell
of all
yeah,
time.
okay.
It's amazing what you can do with one room if you're a fucking good director.
Bro,
With
you
one
ain't lying.
12 guys.
Unbelievable.
I've had that dream before.
Yeah. Wes Anderson's Rushmore.
Yes,
Phenomenal.
okay,
Every
great.
time I watch it,
really
it makes me feel
it's really
a
unbelievable.
warmth that
Yes.
no other film has ever made me feel.
Yes. Totally
Number
feel it.
3, Piano Teacher. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Wow, okay, I gotta watch this.
I've never felt more feelings watching a movie, and
Really?
I've never had the feeling of if this movie ends right now, it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life, and it does.
Really?
Yeah. And then number 4, the funniest movie ever made, in my opinion, Drop Dead Gorgeous.
I have never seen that. Wait, who's in that one?
In Drop Dead Gorgeous is Kirsten Dunst, Kirstie Alley, Amy Adams.
Okay.
Is it Denise Richards?
Denise Richards.
Wow. Funniest movie of all time?
Well, I think it's the funniest movie of all time.
It's really,
Really?
it's like it's really unbelievable. It's like it has the speed of jokes of a Christopher Guest movie, but it is like a little raunchier, I think, or a little more.
Interesting.
They'll go a little dark. It goes a little darker than like a Christopher Guest movie.
It's about
would.
a beauty pageant, a high school beauty pageant in Minnesota, and some bad things are happening. Like,
Jeez, I always thought that was just like a sort of like basic ass movie.
I thought that too.
I think it's because it has like kind of cheesy 90s
Like the
like graphic
cover art.
design. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it is a failure of design of that
Really?
kind of for that movie a little bit to like. But I also think it wanted people to think it was that, like, oh, this movie's kind of regular,
Yeah.
and then you go see it and you go like, oh shit, this movie's actually really pretty strange. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a character that is unfortunately the hair character where it's the judges of the beauty pageant. One of them is a guy named John Doe who is just constantly being weird about the girls.
Yeah.
And he's just like watching them practice, and he's holding a camera and goes, they're just a camera for insurance purposes. Yeah. You guys have cameras. No one's accusing you of anything. But no one's saying. He's just saying.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I really think it's
Okay,
like
I
The
got 2
Jerk.
movies to add to the
Yeah,
list.
The Jerk, Dumb and Dumber. They're phenomenal comedies. I love them. MacGruber is like, to me, right there with it.
Dude,
I have never seen MacGruber. This is a big blind spot
Are you
for
busy
me.
today? Let's hang out.
Yeah,
Watch
the rumor is I was actually because at Alamo they're doing like because of the SNL's 50th anniversary they're doing like we're going to show a bunch of
Oh.
SNL related movies, and I
should
think
make a
they're-
list.
Yeah, I think they're showing MacGruber. They're also showing Pop Star, which I
I've
saw.
never seen Pop
So
Star.
I saw it once. I didn't watch it for a long time because I was like, "Fuck, who gives a shit? It looks
Yeah.
stupid." I watched it. I was like, "This movie actually is incredible."
Okay.
and I do
Really?
need to rewatch
I know
it.
Chris Redd is fantastic in it.
Dude, yeah, it's really, really good.
All right, we'll check it out.
Yeah.
Well, now you got 2 movies to go home and watch.
Yeah, Piano Teacher and Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm really excited because I do like Hanukkah and I like some of his like funny games. I'm like, oh fuck you, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like, that because he has the European impulse to rub your face in shit.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
bugs me sometimes.
Yeah.
But so I'm very well aware of him, and I'd never even heard of this movie.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I think
I'm
this was
jacked
like
to see it.
his like coming out.
Okay,
like his
cool.
like for big splash, being like everyone like at film festivals just being like Jesus fucking
Yeah, dude.
Christ.
yes.
It's fun how often, because I love watching the Letterboxd videos of them asking actors, what's your
Yeah.
top 4? And it's always, it makes me so happy how often it's in celebrities'
comes up,
top 4.
really?
Yeah.
Especially hot women.
Especially hot women.
Nice.
Nicole Kidman had it in hers, and Mikey Madsen had it in
Oh,
hers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
Wait,
made a
Mikey
joke.
Madison, she's the one in Honora,
Honora,
right?
yeah.
Oh, she's so hot.
Also, I want to clarify. I made a joke, and I don't know if people. So I got to see Nora at a special preview.
Oh, nice.
And Mikey Madsen was there, and we got to hang out a little bit in the theater, and she was talking to us.
Yeah.
And I got a picture with her.
Oh, nice.
And then I screenshotted her Criterion closet where she picks piano teacher. And I made a joke. I'm like, I told her to watch the piano teacher, and she loved it. And I was like, that's so cool. I'm like, sorry, I didn't make that joke clear enough.
Even me, your best friend, was like, did you actually tell her to watch it?
Yeah.
Because I was like, maybe you,
Yeah. No, I don't tell women to. They should watch whatever their heart desires.
I tell them to watch one thing: their fucking mouths.
Watch their fucking mouth.
Me.
Bobby, thank you so much for doing the podcast,
sure.
man.
Thanks
That was
for having me.
fantastic.
Awesome.
Thank you for being here. Where can people follow you and see you shows and blah, blah, blah?
Sure. So you can follow me on Instagram at bobby.condon. I have a special coming out hopefully at the end of the month.
Nice.
Perfect timing for this.
Yeah. So that works
He's
out
so
pretty well.
funny, guys. You got to watch this.
Yeah.
I'll post the
thank
link
you.
on the Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me, man.
Of
This
course.
was
Yeah.
fucking great.
Follow Micah Brucey at Micah Brucey.
Follow Diego Lopez at this Diego Lopez.
Patreon.com/a little time pod for 4 bonus episodes a month, plus video of all that episodes a week before everyone else. Help us continue to do this because you love it. We love you.
Appleton, Wisconsin. I'll be there at the end of January. All right.
Bye.
Bye.